up, guys? Here with the Kalamazoo Open for the back nine coverage of the MA1 men's division here in Kalamazoo. We are still at the Vicksburg recreational area, headed for the back nine now. And again, I am joined by Donut for the second round. How you doing, Donut?
Hey, what's up, guys?
So really excited to see what we're doing here. So let's take a quick look at who's on this card for this round. We have Andrew, 972 player, shooting pretty well so far. Coming down from out of town. We have Chris, who's also a 932 player, local player, so he's looking to make some moves here on this course as he lives like 5 minutes away. We have Brock, who's got a great arm, good strong player, looking to make some moves. He's had a pretty good success so far this year. And we have Ty rounding up this card, who's struggled pretty much on this front nine. His off the tee's been struggling with him, but looking to make some changes and maybe catch up a couple strokes and get back in the running. So here's our front nine scores. Chris with 27, Ty with a 36, Brock with a 26, and Andrew with a 28. Here we're headed into hole 10, long from 411. You got to avoid this one tree through the narrow gap there. Once you get past that, pretty open fairway, some brush on the left. It's more dangerous brush on the left side. As you head towards the basket here, it kind of comes off and it turns into dirt, so very fast, very skippy. And right past the basket is one little shelf and then OB. So get too aggressive towards this basket and you can find yourself in the OB real quick. And just like before, there's another drop zone that's probably 35, 40 feet back up the hill and leaves you with a death putt. So
yeah, real far away from the basket that drop zone is. It's
yeah,
that little square pad.
And Brock was calling for that disc to come, hyzer out of its path, and it didn't. So he's going to be on the right side, a little bit of brush in his way, and whoo, Chris getting skinny around that tree, and hits that brush, slows him down just a bit, and he is on the right side of the fairway.
Andrew with that low line again. He really leaves that disc like 4 feet from the ground through the whole flight path.
And he's very good at that. I mean, if this grass was cut a little shorter, he probably would be taking advantage of some big skips.
Oh, man, he'd be awesome on a dirt course, too.
Oh, yeah. And so here's Ty cranking another one out there, just a hair out to the right. So he's going to be stuck in the same area as Chris and Brock are. And so here's Andrew. He was short on the left side. He's taking a baby putt at this and trying to use the dirt. Not much skip there.
Probably a little afraid of it, I think.
I think you have to respect it. I don't think you can get too aggressive here. So here's Chris. Does a nice job using that dirt as a skip pad and just scooting it up towards the basket. And he had a very narrow line. Like he had to reach around that bush. And here's Brock also having to kind of do something fancy. And he puts it 2 feet in front of Chris.
A little surprised that none of our players are going for an upside down throw here. It's a lot more controlled skip that way. There's less scoot.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think just this is what they're comfortable with, And so, Andrew just having to respect the hole, can't go too aggressive on it, and he lands it just short.
Chris, no fear. He's close enough. He's banging that in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brock's going to follow him.
Does a nice job with that. So Andrew and Ty will be cleaning up their putts on this hole. And luckily no one goes OB, which happens a lot more than people think. Even in the upper divisions, very easy to go OB.
Especially double OB, because then you really want to make that drop zone death putt.
Yeah.
You bounce it off again, get frustrated, blow up your whole round.
Yeah, you can take a big number here if you let it. Luckily our guys didn't. As we head into hole 11, this is the launch perspective, Yep, this is a long perspective here from 414. You want to come out of the narrow path there and go anhyzer route. So you really want to crank a disc over, give it lots of air, lots of space, let it hyzer out at the end, and then you get towards this basket, which has a hill that it's sitting on. So once you're out into the open, if you throw it low enough, you can attack the basket, take a really easy three. So you can always make this pretty easy as long as you attack it at the base of it, or you can run it and try to take that deuce.
Yeah, a lot of our players I see attack this basket really hard. Try for those throw-in twos from deep.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it doesn't punish you too hard. There can be some runaways, or if you throw over and it goes on the other side of the hill.
Sure.
You can turn out with a 4, but usually a 2 throw-in attempt turns into a 3 pretty easily.
Yeah, and so far, Brock and Chris have thrown 2 wonderful discs here, cranked them over. They've hyzered out into the fairway. Ty, when he threw this, thought it was too much cranked over again like he had been doing this round, but he actually ends up in a fine spot for himself. And Andrew here just taking a forehand, putting himself in the fairway. Nice safe play.
Yeah, that forehand's really the best play if you've got it, but a lot of these players can't get 400 out of their forehand.
Absolutely,
so they're throwing their confident backhands.
And Brock there threw just around the bush, kept it close, taking his 3, and nice putt from Andrew. Nice distance. He's earned himself the crew view for this back 9. Really nice putt from him. And he chases it the whole way.
Yeah, that's that throw-in we were talking about. I'm not sure if he's really running that on a lot of holes in this course, but this one you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Take advantage.
Really rewarded for it.
Yeah, but Brock earlier, you saw in the video, he threw around the bush, and then as soon as he came around, he's like, I saw this line. He pointed above the bush. There's this small, really skinny line that you can take. And he looked at me and he's like, I thought about it. And then he looked at it and I was like, nah, I don't feel like taking a 4 on a hole that is an easy 3. So there's a lot of risk reward. If he threw it over, he might have been able to put in a 2, but he played safe here and took the 3, which I think is the smarter choice.
Yeah, Ty really unhappy with his 3 here. He thought this was going to be his first birdie of the round.
Yep, as we get towards hole 12 now, so we've been playing up to this point. Next hole we're going to get into is definitely the hardest hole of the course. So looking at this one, longs are from 678. The OB road on the right, you've got this really, really tight gap in the middle that you want to hit so that you can attack the basket at all. So your drive wants to go into this open gap. Then from there, it opens back up, and you want to attack the basket on the right side. The water on the right for this tournament was casual, so you go from the last place you entered, but there's no OB stroke. But the water on the left is also casual, so they didn't make this any OB, which really saved, I'm certain, tons of strokes in the tournament.
Would you call this a par 4 or
Yes.
par 5?
Oh, I would say for this division, it should be a par 4. I think that getting 4 on here is not unreasonable. I think 3 feels like I don't know, maybe 4.5. It's a really difficult hole. This is usually where the big scores come from.
Yeah, so 678 is obviously a huge number, even for these AM1 guys. Chris, really an open player. But even after we talk about 700 feet, this hole plays even harder than that because there's a bunch of narrow pathways.
Get back in bounds. Whew.
Oh,
Sorry.
that was a close
Brock
one.
was making me nervous with that disc floating OB almost the entire way, but luckily he is in bounds. The post line is not OB, the road is. And
Chris with the same shot.
Doing the same thing here. They just leaving out too far right. And so he's going to have a real tight gap there.
I like Chris's lie a little better. He's a little shorter, and he can attack that gap a little better.
Oh, and Ty knew exactly as soon as that came out of his hand. That was not going to go, crank over like it did earlier, and he's going to be far left, which is a real trouble spot. And Andrew threw his short earlier, so he's going to try to attack this. And you can see him as he goes through the gap, and he's landing in that water. But again, that is not OB. That is casual water, so he'll go back in bounds. And the last spot he was in bounds for, went in the water. There will not be an additional stroke. So he will be shooting from 3 on the edge of that water. Ty having to take just a chip out into the fairway. Maybe he left it a little too far because now he had to really try to crank a disc over and, again, didn't quite get over on it enough. And so he is going to be on the...
Chris is really confident in this course. He knows exactly how he's playing it. That drive went right where he wanted to.
Now, there is some lines there on the right side that you can kind of use to sneak back into the fairway. So Brock was trying to take advantage of that and unfortunately hit into the brush and got himself stuck. So he's now on the right side of it trying to get unstuck and throws it again into the water. So he's going to be taking his 4th shot from on the fairway there.
They're really abusing that casual water roll. He threw 3 discs into the water and didn't get penalized for it.
Yeah, at least 2. Yeah, it was a lot of water here. You got to be aware of. And Chris, actually with a great shot there, put his 3 up there, so he's looking for his 4. And, woo, Andrew with another blind nearly throw-in. He's been throwing very well. And Brock taking a run at this. Not quite enough ante on it, but he's got, pin high. So he should be able to save that. And here's Ty going way up high, throwing a grenade. Boom, bullseye. Nice throw from him.
Yeah, that's a really good save after a rough start to this hole.
Yeah. And Chris throwing in the shot. Very nice shot from him. So I feel like the 4 here is kind of like a birdie, a very doable birdie, while the 5 here would be feeling like a bad par maybe. So Andrew with another really nice putt. His foot was like in water, like he was standing in, there's like a little trench there. He just took his lie right there, threw it, totally compromised footing, but nice putt from him. And Brock cleans up his putt there. So couple 4s, couple 5s there. Really what you expect from this hole, but realistically the lead card kind of showing us how to take care of business on that. Don't let it get too big. Hole 13, this is not a typo, longs from 201. So really Anheuser line there. So you saw from the longs there first, you really want to throw something from left to right really aggressively. The shorts are more straight towards the basket, but there's just tons of trees guarding this. I mean, you really want to just kind of throw and pray.
The thing that makes this really hard from the longs as opposed from the shorts is there's a similar elevation change, but from the long tee it almost goes straight up. There's like a wall in front of your shot. It's hard to see with this low camera angle here, but you really have to throw the disc up. Andrew can't take that low line he's accustomed to.
Right. So he tries to go around with a forehand, which I think is the right play here, and he doesn't quite get enough on it. Gets a couple early trees. Chris, that would have been a really nice skip if he had missed the last tree there, but he gets stopped early.
Still showing off his local talent there. He knows this line.
Brock getting skinny. He's also going to be up in that direction. He'll have a putt, but it's going to be a little long. Ty keeping his low. And honestly, when he threw this, the card reacted like that was an ace run. Like it looked super solid. That's the right line you want to take. But he left it a little deep, and he'll be on that back side. Andrew with a half bid there almost. A little short maybe. And Ty just outside. Here comes Brock now. Nice putt from him.
Brock's been banging him in from the circle. He hasn't missed yet, I don't think.
He's a great putter. He's deceptively consistent.
Right.
And so he's, as I watched him over this course, the more I see him get closer to 30, like once he's at that 35-foot, 30-foot range, I just kind of look at him. I'm like, oh, this is going to be in. like just expect it to go in and move on. So not too bad from this hole here. Got a couple birdies, couple pars. Headed now into hole 14, so the longs here are from 291 over this pond. Really pretty straightforward approach here. You really want to be on the right side of that tree, the skinny tree there in the distance. If you're throwing backhand, if you're throwing forehand, you want to be on the left side. Really attack this hill, maybe use it to your advantage as a stop and give yourself a putt at it, or maybe go around the right side and use that skip to try to get yourself close for a putt at it, but there is a drop on the backside where that pond is at.
Really tough part about the long tees on this hole is you can't take any sort of hyzer line. It's completely blocked off. You have to throw forehand or you have to throw like an Anheuser backhand. Chris opting for the forehand and didn't really get that one cranked over as much as he wanted to.
This is actually a common play as well for some players. So like a couple players, and so from Chris's perspective, he's playing pretty well. Doesn't want to get a big number on this score. So you can see Brock was a little more aggressive. He's attacking it. Some players, when they're playing safe, will throw it into that right fairway, which gives them a line towards the basket. So they'll just throw it short and take a 3 and won't let this hole hurt them.
Andrew really showing everyone how to throw that forehand right into the hill there. It's exactly where he wanted to put it.
Good throw from him. It looks like Brock will be joining Chris on that right fairway there. And so that's right where you want to be for a safe 3.
Yeah, Ty really cranked that one over again, but that's a good spot to be.
He knew he could probably get aggressive here. If he cranked it over, he'd be in a safe fairway. If he didn't crank it over, he'd be aggressive towards the hole. So, win-win for him.
A little farther out than he'd like, but nice attack. Oh, he was running that one.
Yeah, he was. Real close shot from him. Good bid. And so here's the death putts. And nice putt from Brock up and over the hill. He's earned himself a preview for this one. That's a nice putt from him. Just barely on the, just enough on the pro side to get enough chain for it to go in.
Andrew missing his death putt, but lucky he found enough metal where it stopped.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even there, that am side, if he had missed it 3 inches to the left, he might have been too much power to stay on that little ledge.
Yeah, and then our players cleaning up their pars there. Brock with a beautiful 2.
Absolutely. Gave himself a death putt to run it, and he knew he needed to make a move because Chris has been shooting really hot this round. Hole 15 now, longs from 321. Pretty standard hyzer line, or not hyzer as much, but a really stable line you really want. It can go to the left, but you really want to throw something stable, flat out there, let it hyzer at the end and attack this basket. All the water around it is casual. So you play from it, or the last spot you play in bounds, not closer towards the basket.
Right, that's not really a river there as much as it looks like in that view. It's more of a swamp area.
Yeah. Where the water goes.
Yeah,
when
we call
rains.
it wetlands.
Yeah. So Brock gets his cranked over a little bit to the right, gets stuck in that brush. Chris throwing something really hyzery, taking a real low hyzer route. Give himself a look.
Yeah, hugging that right side of the fairway super tight.
Yeah.
Andrew going backhand on this hole, I'm a little surprised.
I am too.
It's very open on the left side.
Yeah, I figured he would have taken a forehand there, but he knows his disc. He knows he's putting himself in position to take a putt from there. And Ty cranks again. He's not. You can see his reaction there. He's not sure what's happening, but that's not what he wanted to do. But fortunate for him, it lands in the center fairway. He'll have a great look at a 2 there. Good distance on his end. Got through some brush. Brock just throwing it up short, trying to take a 3.
Nice looking layup from Chris. He's not running that one. There's no reason to.
Don't put yourself in a spot where you're going to take a much bigger number than you have to.
Yeah, he's really happy with his round, and he's also really confident about attacking Ashtamo tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And nice putt from Ty there. There's his first deuce of the round. Good putt from him and good distance, as this is absolutely a death putt. Even though it's not OB on the other side, as you could see Andrew in the previous shot, as he threw his, it rolled down the hill, and now he's got himself this very, very compromised footing putt.
Yeah, he built his own elevated basket there.
Yeah, essentially, right? Naturally. Brock does a nice job of cleaning up his putt there. Again, 30 feet and in. He's so consistent. He just puts it in and moves on. So here we have Ty with his deuce. Good deuce for him. Glad to see it, turn around for him there. Much better round than his front, the front 9 there. Only with a 1-5 there, but again on the hardest hole in the course. Headed now into hole 16, longs from 327. You really want to throw a super anhyzer kind of line with a really overstable disc. So get it into this fairway that's really, really narrow. Let it hyzer back out and attack the basket. They're OB on the right with that pond, and there is lots of trees and brush on the left side. You really want to avoid that side because you can get yourself stuck really quickly.
Then that pond on the right is actually super, super close to the fairway, and the trees and brush guarding it aren't that thick. It's really easy to go into that pond there.
And Ty with a great throw there, got over on it just enough, hugged the right side of that fairway, and he is safe and has a shot for a deuce there. A long one, but he'll have a putt for it. And not quite enough to keep it inbound or keep it in the fairway. And you can see his reaction. That is not what you want, where you want to be. He is on the left side, and he is nervous about where his next shot will be. Oh my!
Skip in, come on!
Oh,
little skip. That grass is too long.
Oh my goodness! What, Chris? What nonsense is that?
That's so far blind. That's like 300 blind feet.
Yeah, I mean, and here's Andrew. He's throwing it. Stay in bounds, stay in bounds. He'll be very close and on the edge of that pond there. We'll have to check out to see where he's at. I believe he is safe, though. And here's Brock in a really compromised spot. He's going to flick this up and out over the brush. And for having no shot, that's a great out.
Wow.
That's
great disc choice, too, to really know exactly how stable it is and how it flies at low speeds.
And Andrew had to have been safe from that spot, so he is shooting his 2 here. Kind of gives it a half run.
He left himself a little longer than I think he'd want.
Yeah, 20 feet or so. So here's Ty looking to take his second deuce. Oh. And oh my gosh, it's what, the 4th cage he's hitting in this round?
Yeah, that was right on the right side of those chains, too. That would have been in for sure.
He's doing the best impersonation of me he's got.
Yeah, he only needed another inch or 2.
Bang, and there goes Brock with another fantastic putt from him. Again, 35 feet in. It's just in. Like, he's just so consistent.
That's so hard to scramble from his line.
Oh, yes. Like, that should have been a 4 from 90% of the other players.
4+.
Yeah. That was a great recovery from Brock. And there's probably the easiest deuce you've seen on this hole ever.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's ever aced this hole ever. And Chris gave himself a look for it.
This is great. There's the local route coming through for him, showing up for everyone what you're supposed to do here. headed into hole 17 now. This is the forehand hole that you want to, if you got a good power for it, to go for it. Longs from 327. You got a lot of open space on the left side. So that's from the longs perspective. Here's from the shorts. You just want to put it out into space and let it crash back towards the basket, but you got to get it far enough, or you got to get it far enough left, because it's all that brush on the inside there is dangerous, and you have a pond that's right there that can catch any disc at any time, especially towards the green that slopes right towards it.
Right, and then that grass is pretty short too. It gets skippy really easily if you attack too hard.
And Chris is having nothing to do with it. I think he's probably played this course enough time and been like, it's not worth the risk for me. I'm playing really well. Just put it into safe space. And
he knows exactly what a 3 looks like on this hole, and he's playing for it.
Yeah, Ty was trying to get really aggressive there, I think. Maybe go with a roller and try to attack it, and just left it a little early out of his hand. And so he gets stuck very early. And Brock is telling this to get down, and he's gone towards the pond, and I believe he just barely goes in.
Yeah, Brock is wet.
So he's going to have to take a drop right next to the pond and in the brush.
That's a big attack.
And this is a crazy
nice looking
shot.
Skip. He's inside the circle.
Absolutely. There's that forehand player. This is the hole to take advantage on. And Ty just kind of just chipping out here.
Yeah, pretty good looking out from Ty. He's just going to play for the 4 here.
I think he understands that he's probably put himself out of contention for this round, maybe even the tournament. So he's just trying to finish up the round, take as little damage as possible, maybe put himself up in the best position possible for the next round. And this is my favorite shot of the entire tournament.
100% blind, way high up in the air.
Like, I've never seen anyone throw that far. It's deceptively longer than it looks. I've never seen anyone throw that far, that blind on a throw like that, and it, like, be parked. I've never seen it. Like, if you play here at Vera and you see that spot, go stand in it and look and be like, yeah, I have no idea how I got there. Because that was just crazy.
Oh, Andrew.
And Andrew almost sit. Yep, it does. So, almost goes OB there, but just short for his deuce.
Let's go.
Ty with a nice putt there. Good save.
A huge throw-in. Chris really showing everyone how to play for par on this hole.
Yeah,
his drive didn't look impressive at all.
No, but
it's really smart play.
Really safe, right? He took an easy 3 on a hole that can get a lot of players and give them 4s.
Yeah,
and
Brock,
thank you, Disc.
Brock showing off his scramble score.
I think it's a rock.
Yeah,
DX rock. So he's showing off. Everyone's like, hey, yes, that shot was amazing. Thank you for this disc. That was just a great shot from Brock there. I still don't even understand what happened today. So headed into hole 18 now. End of the round. Longs from 377. There is one gap on the right side that you want to attack. Use the low line to skip your disc towards the basket. And for this tournament, they changed the rules. So usually it's not OB behind the basket. They put a string line OB in the backside, which is OB. So you can kind of see that muddy area in the back. That is all out of bounds for this tournament.
Yeah, so there's not technically an OB water deep, but there's an OB boundary.
Yes. Yeah. And so Chris just attacking that line really aggressively and gives himself an inside circle. That is not an easy shot. That is difficult even from the shorts pad. I think Andrew just didn't get quite enough power to that one.
I think Andrew has to go back to those forehands.
Maybe. And this is a difficult forehand hole. It's not really a big or easy line for that. And whoa.
Oh, that just popped from the wind. That was wild.
You can see his reaction there. It's like, of course it did. Just with how much bad luck he's had in this tournament. Or this round at least. It's just been brutal against him.
Andrew not too far out. He's got a line from here on that little hyzer route. Doesn't put it...
That's a nice layup.
Did he split the gap in that tree?
Yes, he did. So you can see that little V there. He split the V and split the tree that blocked him. Oh my gosh.
I thought it hit like 4 trees, and then all of a sudden the disc popped out on the other side.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out where it went.
I don't know. So that's probably my second favorite shot of the whole tournament, by the way, as well. Just watching that throw. And even him just looking at it. He was watching it play. And you couldn't see it on the video. But then turned around and looked at me and was like, did that just split the tree?
Chris just threw in a deuce.
Yes, he did.
He's on fire today.
This is his home course. He's showing everyone exactly how to play this course. He's doing a phenomenal job. Just great round from him.
Setting himself up really well to go back to his league course at Ashtama.
Absolutely. So here's the final hole. Ty, when his approach almost looked like it went out of bounds, but he was still in bounds, so he's able to save his 3. So taking a look at these back 9, Chris with a 25, super hot 25, Ty with a 29, Brock with a 28, Andrew with a 29. Nice shooting from Chris. That puts him into first place coming into the final round. Brock will be in second place. And then we have 2 new players joining us for the final round in the lead card. We have JR and we have Cody. And JR shooting the hot round in the second round, shooting 50, 2 strokes better than Chris.
JR actually came from the bottom card after round 1, shot a 50.
And now he's on the lead. That's just crazy. So we're really excited to see JR join us as he started, as you said, on the last card. That's a big jump to be making. A lot of scores in this tournament were really congested, so everyone was still in it going this round. But to shoot that well, to put yourself on lead card, is still just mind-boggling. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see it happen, but nice shooting from JR. Excited to see you in the next round here. Thanks, Donut, for joining us on this.
Yeah, thank you.
Super stoked to see what happens in the final round of the tournament at Oshmo for the next round. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel to get notifications about when future rounds will be posted, as well as when you have your opportunity to see new videos just on casual rounds, or if you want a chance to play with us, take a look at our Facebook page and like that one so you can see updates and when we have availability there. Go ahead and check out the link in the description towards the next round at Oshmo. This has been Crew 42, and we are out.